The first element in a contract is agreement. That is the offer and the acceptance combined. Now, we discussed in the basic contract law that there are UCC and common law contracts. It's very important that you remember which predominant purpose test you chose, which bucket it belongs in, because all the elements of a contract will change depending on whether it's UCC or common law. And we're going to start with a common law offer. Here's your test. And what's important to know here is that all elements of the offer must exist for it to be an appropriate common law offer. So if I am offering to sell you my house, and I say, I will sell my house for $600,000 next year, that is not an appropriate offer. I did give you the price, but I didn't give you a specific enough duration or delivery date. Next year is 365 days. That's not specific enough to meet the common law test. You do know the place for delivery since it is the house, but you don't know when payment is due. In a UCC offer, all the elements don't have to be there if the parties intended to create a contract. That's because in business, in the real world in business, contracts happen all the time without all those elements being decided. So we will allow that contract to exist as long as the parties intended it to exist. There are two kinds of contract that are only allowed in the UCC that are not allowed in the common law. And here they are. So, and I have the examples of two of them. If I am a pumpkin farmer, I can go to my local grocery store and say, I will sell you all my pumpkins for $2 a piece, and you will buy all of them, all the pumpkins I grow. That's an output contract. If they say yes, then I have to sell them all my pumpkins, and they have to buy all of them if there's 500 or 700. In a requirements contract, it would be the grocery store saying, I will only buy pumpkins from Kayla's Pumpkin Farm. This is an important slide. This is what is not an offer. A price quote is not an offer, and an invitation to bargain or solicitation is not an offer. So if you think about it like this, you go to Target to buy something, and you need to buy, well, let's say you want to buy carrots. You see the carrots on the shelf with the price. That is a solicitation for an offer. When you put the carrots in your cart and then take it up to the register, that's the offer. You are offering to buy the carrots in exchange for the money. When Target accepts your money, then that is the acceptance of that offer, and that's the conclusion of that contract. How to terminate an offer. And here are your rules for that. Target can revoke or reject the offer for the carrots. For example, if you don't have enough money, or if your credit card was stolen, or if you're on their no-buy list. In the common law, a counteroffer is a rejection of the offer. And this is really important in home buying. So if I, again, offer to sell my house for $600,000 next Tuesday, we'll meet and close. And Tammy accepts my offer, but changes it and says, I need all of the light fixtures to remain. That is a counteroffer. She has rejected my offer, and she's replaced it with her own offer. That's important in the housing market because as long as an offer is on the table, I can only negotiate with that person, in this case with Tammy. But the minute she rejects my offer and starts a new one, I'm free to negotiate with anyone. So if during that time Mohammed has offered me $700,000 for my house, well, Tammy has rejected my offer and made a counter offer. I'm now free to discuss an offer with Mohammed. Common law acceptance can be by any medium. It's important to know that when you click submit on an email, you are signing it, you are accepting it. And as we discussed with the common law, there's the mirror image rule. You must accept the same terms as the offer was made. Again, with the UCC, with acceptance, we don't need all those terms. That's because in business, it can go pretty quick. And they're trying to make it more workable for how business really works. If a term is missing in a UCC contract, this is how the court will do it. And what's really important on this slide is industry standards. The court under the UCC relies heavily on industry standards. That is to say, how your industry works. So if I sell rice for a living and we get shipments of it twice a year from farmers, and then we hold it in stock and we can get it to you within a week, then the timing will be within a week, unless it's during one of those twice a year periods where I'm waiting for the farmers, in which case the delays might be longer. That might be reasonable. So the courts are going to look at how your industry operates, and they're going to try to hold you to those standards. This is an important exception. If I'm speaking with someone, I sell rice, and Ayub is a restaurant owner, and we're talking about how much rice he needs per week, and he agrees on how much short grain rice he's going to get, but we're also discussing short grain brown rice. We hadn't finished that conversation yet. When he gets off the phone, I get a great bargain on some short grain brown rice, and I can send him a contract by email saying, hey Ayub, I can offer you 10 pounds a week of short grain brown rice. We discussed this and you said you would want that at the price of $8 a pound. I can match that price now. I'll deliver on Friday. He has 10 days to reject that, or he's accepted that contract under the merchant's exception. All right. The UCC also has a couple of other things that are not included in common law contracts. They have additional terms. So I'm selling Ayub rice, and I say I can sell you 40 pounds of short grain white rice every week at $5 a pound. I can deliver it on Friday by 8 a.m. And he can come back and say, that sounds great, Kayla. Please have them in plastic recyclable bins, and we'll switch those out. That's an additional term. In the UCC, that's perfectly fine unless one of those three things have happened. So in this circumstance, that additional term would be accepted unless it was really a hardship for me to put rice into a plastic bin, or if our original contract said no additional terms. There's also different terms. So now I make the same offer to Ayub, but he comes back and he says, I need 50 pounds. So he's changed it from 40 to 50. In that case, if we have a disagreement, the court will have to go in and make a filler. So the court will look at industry standards for restaurants and how much they tend to use. And that's it for acceptance.